like she seems like she's a cool girl, but calling out Cash, sister.
Look, let's be clear, I ain't never took a loss. Every time I go shopping, I ain't gotta check the cost. Still independent, still my own boss. Still got bad bitches coming up they draws. Keep the beat up like a motherfucking Frito. Lucci flaming hot like a motherfucking Cheeto. This is not an act, I am not Don Cheeto. So the nigga out, treat him like a free code. Yeah, you heard right, I'm a whole ass gangster. Made him eat my butt, I ain't even say thank ya. Thought he's gon' fuck, no nigga, I'm a prankster. I can make a thug nigga feel like a wankster. Pull up down my green like she go.
What's up, Lucci gang? It's your girl Lucci V, and welcome back to my channel. I'm back with another video, and today I'm going to be recapping South Central Baddies Season 6, Episode 5. Okay, so if you would like to get into a little tea with me, then stay tuned to this video right here. But first, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell, ding, ding, ding. And let's get it. Happy Wednesday, y'all. I hope everyone had a blessed week. This is the midweek, so I hope y'all had a blessed midweek and continue to have a blessed week. But let's go ahead and get into South Central Baddies Season 6, Episode 5. Okay, Episode 5 picked up with them still on the steps. Y'all remember Lori and Chili Bobo were like arguing across the steps, like yelling at each other. Lori had threw her purse at Chili Bobo. But the first like 5 minutes of the episode were them on the steps arguing, and like Chili Bobo was calling Lori ugly. She was like, "You're ugly." Like it really gave like Cold Killer versus Tinka, you really ugly on my mom. Like it gave like that kind of energy. But I don't think Lori's ugly. Like I be seeing comments on some of the blog pages like, oh, Lori funny looking and all this and that. I think Lori's pretty. And it's like every time I say something like nice about the Bunk Life girls, people be in my DMs or in my comments like, why you be saying nice stuff about them when they was all on that other reunion saying they was gonna jump you and da da da. Look, I'm just not a hater. Like, you know what I mean? If somebody pretty to me, they pretty. Whether they got an issue with me or not. If you pretty, then you just pretty. Like, and I think Lori is pretty. Like, I think she dressed nice and all that. I think she cute. Like, so I'm just not a hater. Like, I could give a girl her tens, like, and that just be that. You know what I'm saying? So then Isaiah announces that they're going to be doing challenges this season. They're going to be cash prizes. And the first challenge is going to be at the studio. They're going to be broke off into teams. The team captains are Ivory, E.T., and Liddy. And whichever team makes the best song is going to win a cash prize. And they also going to have the theme song for the season, which we already have heard. The intro song is like Pressure and Liddy and Kayla and them. So we know who won already, but whatever. So Cash and Bree pull up to the house. They weren't at the house while all the yelling on the steps and all that was happening. And y'all know they were staying at another house. Cash and Bree pull up to the house, and it was like immediately the girls swarmed the van like a pack of wolves. Like they want Cash head on a platter, baby. Now, Fiji versus Cash, I feel like that would be a decent little squabble. Lady H's versus Cash, I feel like that'll be a decent little squabble. But Chardonnay, I want Chardonnay to stop calling out Cash. No tea, no shade. You know, they said she got sickle cell and all that. We already saw her, you know, throw hands on like the first episode. She's not a heavy hitter. We saw her on the riot getting tore. It's like, you know, it's cool that you brave and that you want to stand up for yourself, but also it's just like, let Fiji, and Lady H's and them handle that. No tea, no shade to Chardonnay. Like she seems like she's a cool girl, but calling out Cash, sister. Look, I ain't trying to be mean or nothing, but like we got to be for real. If we're gonna be anything in 2026, we just got to be for real, okay? Like no shade. Security wasn't letting anything happen because they basically was saying like, you know, we got to get to the studio. If you have a book studio time, y'all know you got to be on time, baby, because they start charging you whether you there or not. Like if your studio session starts at 4 and you're not there at 4, it don't matter. You're still getting charged for that time, baby. So yeah, you might want to be on time. So on one of the sprinters, it was like a bunch of the newbies, and then on the other sprinter, it was Cash, and then Cash and Bree, and on that one they put the Bunk Life girls on there. And y'all know on the first episode and the second episode, we saw the Bunk Life girls, they wanted Cash head. So you know, Cash was like, what's up? Like, I gotta be prepared. What's up? But the Bunk Life girls, they basically like agree with Cash, like, we got so many other phases to run. Let's focus on getting the new girls up out of here. When, you know what I'm saying, we shouldn't be focused on fighting each other. Now, it seemed like Money Loke and Cash, they might still need to get that in the future, because it was like Cash was just like, Money Loc, you just be the main one talking too much. Like, and Money Loc was like, you be talking too much. So I do feel like maybe in the future, Cash and Money Loc gonna still need that, but they did agree to like make amends in order for them to like go against the new girls. Okay. Then Ivory comes up to the sprinter like, get out, Cash, get out, come fight Danye right quick. We ain't gonna jump you. And I'm just like, she ain't even sound convincing. It really gave a jump was about to be had if Cash would have got up off that sprinter, but security was not letting it happen. It was time to go to the studio. Okay. They get to the studio, it's time to pick teams. And Ivory's very first pick is Cash. And then she tried to pick like Lady H's and Fiji, and she wanted to pick everybody who had an issue with Cash. Like she was really trying to set Cash up. And I really like that Swag and Isaiah pulled Cash into the room first and was like, look, Ivory picked you on her team, and then it's all your ops on the team as well. I'm glad they gave her a heads up and then just throw her in there to get jumped, like for real, like, because y'all know they be saying all the time now that CV set people up and da da da. That particular time they was actually on it. Like I'm glad that they did that. So all the teams start working on their music or whatever, except Ivory's team. They sitting there waiting for Cash. They want Cash real bad. Okay. So Cash was basically like, I'm not going to be a part of their team. I don't want to be on no team. A whole bunch of people that don't like me, but I'll sit in there and watch them record the song or whatever, because they did make it very clear there was no fighting in the actual studio. They had another little room like across the hall or down the hall or something for them to run a phase in. Okay. Now they bring Cash into the room. She's standing by the door. It's like security in front of her. Ivory just puffing her wood or whatever. She's standing there. I'm thinking Ivory looks very sneaky right now. She got that look in her eyes like when she kicked the girl for no reason on Young and Reckless. So I was already worried over her. Okay. Lady H's is in there, Fiji, Chardonnay, like all the girls who don't like Cash. And Ivory, they all up in there. So Cash is in the doorway. She's arguing with Fiji. Then she starts arguing with Lady H's. And, Cash get the popping and like, yeah, ain't nobody going to do nothing. Da, 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 da. I run this my ish. Da, da, da. And Ivory just out of nowhere, boom, take off on Cash. And Lady H just ran up and tries to get her a little piece too. Security immediately broke everything up. And, they were saying like, y'all can step into the other room if y'all want to run that one. And Cash really was not trying to go run it in the other room. She said the floor was slippery, so she didn't want to, give she slipping and it looked like she getting beat up and da da da. She said she didn't really want to run it. So in the other room while they was working on the music, I ain't gonna lie, Money Loc was eating her little verse. Money Loc was eating. She ended up having to write some of the other girls' verses. Liddy's team was eating too because as we know, they won the challenge. We heard them already on the intro. I wish they I don't know. I wish they could have did that a different way so we wouldn't have already known who won, but oh well. Okay. Then Cash walks in the room that Danye is in. Danye is in the booth. Cash walked in there. Danye snatched them headphones also fast, tried to run about the booth. Security was not letting them get that. Like Danye, like, I'm sick of her. I'm sick of Cash. So back in the room that Ivory was in or whatever, like everybody kind of seemed like they calmed down after the little issue with Cash or whatever. And like they just sitting in there talking and vibing and everything is calm and cool and collected. And then out of nowhere, Lori just socks Lady H's right in the jaw. Like I'm talking about she cocked back and like she's standing there just like right next to Lady H's for a minute. And then just boom. Now she said she felt like Lady H's was talking too much and all of that, but Lady H's wasn't saying nothing at that time. So I guess she meant a previous day that she was talking too much. I don't know. In her confessional, she was basically saying like, oh, you tried to hop in on Cash, but then, I saw her online saying something like, she sent Money Loc to the hospital the day before, so she had to get that for Money Loc. Like, I don't really know. Like it kind of was just like, everybody kind of had their different opinions on it. Like online, I've been seeing half of the people like, oh, well, it's South Central Baddies, so you got to keep your head on the swivel. You know what's coming. And then some people like, she could have called her out for a fade. I feel like she could have definitely called her out for a fade and let her know like, hey, let's get that. They said they had the little open room for them to squabble in. So I do feel like Lori could have called her out for a fade, but I'm also not a part of South Central Baddies, so my mentality may be different because I do know that they just get wild on South Central Baddies. But, just my personal opinion, I do feel like she could have called her out for a fade. And then Ivory was kind of saying like Lori was kind of weird for the sneaking. I did see a clip on TikTok of Lori online, like, well, Ivory be sneaking people too, but Ivory did say like, I've changed. I'm not that person no more. I don't do that no more. So I understand, but I just feel like she could have called Lady H's out because Lady H's she would have gave her that, honestly. And when I say Lady H's would have gave her that, I'm not saying Lady H's would have beat her up before y'all try to put words in my mouth. I'm saying if she needed that, Lady H's would have gave her that. She would have let her have a fade. I'm not saying she would have beat her up. I do think they would be a good fade with each other though. So Ivory also was saying like Cash and Lori had talked about each other kids, so she thought it was weird of Lori was trying to take a fade for Cash. And it's just like I watched last night. I tuned in on Andre Jamar. Y'all know he does like the little TikTok lives with the people from the different shows or whatever. I did tune in for a little bit last night because Andre, he is from Chicago, so I be trying to support my Chicago peeps. I did tune in and I saw that Lori was basically like her and Cash. They squashed it. They cool. People need to stop trying to get them to run a fade because it's not going to happen. So let it go. But we also do know how Cash is, and she be friends with people for a few months, and then next thing you know, we see her on live telling all they tea. So I don't know. So they wouldn't let Lady H just run her fade. She was just like, I ain't with all this sneaking. Line up everybody I need to run a fade with, and y'all can send me home. She was saying she wanted to run a fade with Lori, Kayla, I think Money Loke again, Cash. I don't know. She was just saying line all of them up one by one. Let me run my fades, then send me home. They was not trying to let her run the fades. I don't know what's going to happen. I did see Isaiah on the live last night saying they end up having to put Lady H's in handcuffs because she was just wilding out, going so crazy. I'm like, I wonder why they didn't let her run a fade, because an hour later they end up letting C Rose and Kayla run another fade. C Rose and Kayla, I guess somebody went into the room and told C Rose Kayla wanted to fight her. Somebody went into Kayla room and told her that C they, did I say that right? Someone went in C Rose room and told her that Kayla wanted to fight her, and then someone went into Kayla's room and told her that C Rose wanted to fight her. So they both really don't know why they was fighting, honestly, truly. If we want to be for real, neither one of them really know why they was fighting, but they start running the fade again, and we were left on a cliffhanger. It does look like C Rose is giving up in there again. It does look like it, but I don't know. We was left on the cliffhanger. Next week, Ivory is going to get Bree. Mama versus Pressure, and the house is still trying to get Cash. So yeah, how we feeling about South Central Baddies this season, y'all? We 5 episodes in. We know now that TV is maybe good for like 8 to 10 episodes, if that. So I guess we're like midway through the season and we're only on, I think, day 2. So I don't know. How we feeling about it, y'all? Comment down below. Let me know. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And as usual, thank you for watching.